Oscar Piastri, the home favourite, has hit the wall. He said he's okay, but extraordinarily, we've already lost to McLaren from this race.
The world champion team mired in the pit lane. Lando Norris never ever got out to the dummy grid. Oscar Piastri made it, but has been pushed back.
Yeah, it's not looking too good now, is it? I mean, what happened to the time where we did 2 constructors titles in a row and we won a driver's title for the first time in 17 years? And I mean, it's the reason I get to wear this shirt right now. Like 2024 and 2025 were some of the greatest years I've experienced as a McLaren fan. We actually tied the record for being the earliest constructors champions in history with 6 races to go. So I was definitely very happy the past 2 seasons. Even though last year it got very close, I was still very much able to enjoy most of the season because, hey, we won both titles. And I know that there were a lot of people who hated McLaren because usually you get that when someone is doing well that the haters arise as well. So fine, I very much enjoyed it. And this year is not looking the best now, is it? And I knew that it wouldn't be the best. I knew that with the regulations changed, the order would shake up. I didn't think it would be this bad, however. 3 DNSs in the first 2 races was not a very good way to start off the year at all. But then Japan happened.
The Japanese Grand Prix is underway. Watch Piastri, race leader Piastri, past 1 Mercedes, past 2 Mercedes, 3rd to the lead, and he's brought Charles Leclerc to 2nd place. Both the Mercedes crawled off the line, Lando Norris to 3rd.
So I feel very conflicted about this season so far. On the one hand, I really don't like the regulations because the regulations have actually caused those DNSs in the first couple of races. But on the other hand, when we actually did start, it's like Oscar said, we're actually pretty good and we might actually be able to win races because if it wasn't for the safety car in Japan, Oscar might have been able to win that race. So the big question, simply put, is where does McLaren stand this year in 2026? Well, for that answer, I want to take you a little bit back to the past.
A short view back to the past.
Over the years that I've been following F1, I have seen a lot of regulations changes, and every single time that one happens, McLaren is not really the team to actually get it right. If we go back to 2009, McLaren was actually defending drivers' champion because 2007 and 2008 were very good for McLaren, and 2009 they were absolutely nowhere. They did, however, win some races towards the end of the year when they got on top of things. Then in 2014, McLaren was absolutely nowhere, but then again in 2013 they were kind of nowhere, so like it was very insignificant and they never really got on top of the regulations. If anything, 2014 was the best start to a regulation set that we got because we actually got a double podium in the first race, but that's about the extent of that. Then if we go to 2022, again, 2022 was nothing to write home about. Lando had 1 podium in Imola, which was rain affected, and the only reason that he got that is because Charles fucked it into the wall. Now, 2022 also had another factor, which this might get some hate from people. I'm not the biggest fan of Daniel Ricciardo at McLaren. Even though he did get us our first win in 9 years, I still don't really think that was that deserved of a win because Lewis and Max just took each other out. And if that hadn't happened, one of them would have won Monza. And sure, it was a good drive from Ricciardo to hold on to first place there. But that was his only podium in his entire time at McLaren, where Lando was way more consistent. And Lando was the younger, more inexperienced driver. Ricciardo had recorded several race wins. And people are like, oh my god, he has so many race wins. I'm like, have you seen the race wins that Ricciardo did? It's kind of like lucky at times. He very much has race wins where he benefited from the best car DNFing or having an issue or something. So I was very happy to see Ricciardo leave and Oscar Piastri step in because I have been following Oscar since his Formula 3 season in 2020, where he won the title in the final race, and then a year later in 2021 he won the F2 title. So he went back to back like a couple of other drivers on the grid, so I knew he was a big talent. So when he was actually announced himself that he would not drive for Alpine and for McLaren, I was very happy to see that because I'm like, this is a driver that I can really see win us a championship. Now, 2023 did not begin well at all. Then how in the hell did McLaren finish 2023 in 4th in the constructors with 9 podiums and a sprint win? Yeah, 2023 turned out to be a pretty successful year, and the year after that we were already constructors champions. So this shows that the current McLaren team is very good at car development. This is the key point. Progressing your car with updates throughout the year, because in 2022, kind of nowhere, 2023 started to get somewhere, 24, 25 champions. And I think that this current McLaren team that we have right now in 2026 is still capable of doing that. So if we look at the first couple of races, yes, we've had some issues, but we also have seen some big positives. And I think that we will be able to get back on top again. However, it might not happen this year. This year seems very much like Mercedes is going to dominate, because also Mercedes has 2 drivers who seem up to it. And I wasn't entirely sure if that would be the case until Antonelli actually won 2 races back to back. That was the biggest turning point where I'm like, okay, because I know that Lando and Oscar can both deliver when they are great. And I was just thinking with Mercedes, George Russell has been very consistent for them, but Kimi is very new and inexperienced. But now, having seen the first 3 races, he has finished 2nd, 1st and 1st. So that is already very good consistency from Kimi. He's leading the championship, and based on that, yeah, it's going to be between the Mercedes drivers for the title, for the driver's title for sure, and then they will just run away with the constructor's title because it's just them at the top. Now, McLaren will probably get some race wins, especially if we get on top of the car. And also, you know, there will be crazy races. Not every single race this year will be straightforward, dry. We will get rain races. We will get races hit by a safety car here and there. We already had safety car interventions in the first couple of races, which have affected the outcome of the race. Now, sure, they have affected the outcome in favor of Mercedes, but what if there is a case where Mercedes gets it wrong and the other team gets it right? You never know. These things can happen. So based on that, I very much think that McLaren has a good chance of winning several races with both Lando and Oscar, because they're both proven race winners and they're able to do that. So far this year has just been a bit of a roller coaster, and I don't think we're gonna stop here. This is probably going to continue for the remainder of the year, and it actually reminds me again of past seasons with McLaren, where McLaren has a fast car but they're unreliable. Like if you look at 2005, Kimi Räikkönen was in his prime. He was winning races left, right and center, and he was also DNFing left, right and center because the car would just break down at random points where you wouldn't really expect it, because the car was fast but unreliable. 2012, very similar. Lewis Hamilton got a lot of pole positions, was leading the race, and then suddenly breaks down. He had a couple of good wins, very dominant wins, indicating that car was fast, but when the car breaks down, there's nothing you can do and you lose points and you're not in the title hunt anymore. And I feel the same is going to happen this year. Either we have a mechanical problem because we're not on top of these regulations just yet, or we actually have the car together for a weekend and we're able to challenge for the win. So the gist of it is, are we going to challenge Mercedes for either title? No, I don't think so. I might be wrong. Look, a lot can happen. We still have 19 races left, depending on if the calendar adds or subtracts more races towards the end of it. It's very much up in the air. So we still have a very long season to go. A lot can happen, but based on what I know from us from past experiences, we're not going to challenge for the title this year. But we will probably win some races here or there, and I will very much enjoy those race wins because, hey, they're my team, and if we win, I'm going to be happy with that. But yeah, unfortunately, the title seems a bit out of reach. But hey, 2027 is another opportunity and will be the same regulations. So if we can get on top of them, maybe that's another opportunity then. We'll see. Effectively, the way that I see this year play out for pretty much everyone is like 2009, where in 2009, Braun won a lot of the races at the beginning of the season, but they ran out of steam and other teams caught up because they got a hold of the regulations, and all of a sudden they were able to win races. So later this year, we'll probably see McLaren, Ferrari, maybe another team win a race, and Mercedes will just be ahead by the fact that they got the start right. And maybe they will get a bit of a challenge towards the end of the year, but I still think that both the drivers and the constructors will be wrapped up several races before the end, at least in terms of which team is going to win it. So like Kimi and George might fight it out until the very end, and that would actually be exciting because it would be interesting to see those go head to head for the driver's title. But in terms of the constructors, I think that's already done. But that's all that I can really say about it. I wonder, what do you think about it? Do you see McLaren winning any races or Ferrari winning any races this year, or maybe a surprise win from another team? Please let me know in the comments below. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Please like the video if you did and subscribe to the channel for more Formula 1 content. And of course, until the next time, take care.